Hello everyone, welcome to Prep IAS. Myself Karuna Mishra, and we have started the UPSC Prelims 2023 Crash Course series, and I will be continuing with the topics of science and technology. We have already started with biotechnology, as I have discussed is one of the most important parts from science and technology, from where every year you're getting at least 4 to 5 questions directly or indirectly, whether it is in the form of government initiatives, vaccine making, what is the technique behind the vaccine making, how these are different. Then you're getting questions from the established technologies also, such as pro-nuclear transfer, three parent baby, etc. So without further ado, let us continue with the remaining parts of biotechnology. As you know, that I mix the current along with the static, so that you have a better understanding of the concept and you're better ready for the prelims. Always remember, prelims cannot be done without the better understanding of the topic from the base content along with the current affairs. केवल current affairs पढ़ के थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा prelims में आगे बढ़ना. चलिए, so in biotechnology, the topics that we are going to do further, the most important one are the sequencing, genome sequencing and DNA sequencing. Why it is important? Because in India, the Department of Biotechnology has undertaken many initiatives from genome sequencing, and the DNA technology bill, which aims at doing DNA fingerprinting for creating the data banks, has created mixed has received mixed reviews. Few people are in favor of that, few people are against. There has been a lot of questioning around that, so therefore it is important for your exam. Now let us understand what is sequencing. First of all, whether genome or DNA, sequencing means that you are reading each code. So when I talk about genome sequencing and DNA sequencing, इसको हमको ऐसे पढ़ना है. Genome sequencing is like reading the entire book word by word. आप हर एक कोड को पढ़ते हो, खोलते हो, समझते हो, आप उसके इम्प्लीकेशंस के बारे में सोचते हो. इट इज़ अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस, इट इज़ मोर ऑफ अ रिसर्च बेस्ड प्रोसेस. डीएनए फिंगरप्रिंटिंग या डीएनए सीक्वेंसिंग में इट इज़ लाइक फाइंडिंग अ पर्टिकुलर पैटर्न. आपने देखा होगा मूवीज़ में या शोज़ में कि कभी भी डीएनए सैंपल जब कलेक्ट किया जाता है किसी भी क्राइम सीन से, और आपका जो सस्पेक्ट का डीएनए सैंपल लिया जाता है, उसको मैच किया जाता है. यानी आप कोई पर्टिकुलर पैटर्न है जिसको मैच कर रहे हैं. आप एनालिसिस नहीं कर रहे कि इस इंसान की ब्लड लाइन में कौन कौन सी बीमारियां हैं, कैसा इसका स्किन कलर है, इसका कैसा आई कलर है, दिस एंड दैट. दैट एनालिसिस इज जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग, इन विच यू स्टडी द इंटायर जीनोम. जीनोम क्या होता है सर इन मैन? ऑल सेट ऑफ जीन्स are called as genome. All the genetic material in the body is called as genome. So when you study the entire genetic material, mostly for research purposes, that is called as genome sequencing. When you are simply identifying a pattern, then it is called as DNA fingerprinting or DNA sequencing. So genome sequencing basically means deciphering the order of the DNA nucleotides or bases. What are the bases? Bases are adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine, and based on their pattern analyzing the expression of these genes. Basically आप genome sequencing क्यों करते हो? For example, you need to understand how a healthy cell becomes a cancerous cell. What happens in the tissue of the body when there is disease? So you basically do the analysis of healthy tissue and the diseased tissue, right? The Department of Biotechnology is also initiating certain projects on these lines. So what is a genome? Genome is an organism's complete set of DNA. It includes all the chromosomes that houses the DNA and all the genes. So in human being, the human genome contains about 3 billion base pairs. Genome sequencing is studying and analyzing all of these base pairs, right? And these base pairs are made with the combination of adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine. Now coming to the initiatives. Now this is the current part. The initiatives from genome sequencing includes National Genomic Grid. Now National Genomic Grid, as I said, basically is identifying the factors which are causing cancer. आपको एक चीज़ समझनी होगी कि अब जो रिसर्चेस हो रही है या फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री है या मेडिकल रिसर्च का जो पूरा एरिया है, उसमें देयर इज़ अ शिफ्ट. The shift is, rather than treating a disease as a disease of an organ, you are going to the genetic level by understanding, is there anything in the genetic makeup that is leading to diseases in certain people, in certain areas or certain groups. So इस वजह से अब आप ज़्यादातर देखेंगे कि be it for cancer treatment, AIDS treatment or any other disease, you are now going to the genetic level. So in National Genomic Grid, it aims to collect samples from cancer patients through the network of Pan India collection centers. इसमें आप basically you study the genomic factors influencing cancer and you want to find out the right treatment and modalities for Indian population. So when you talk about how biotechnology can be used for precise medicine and for targeted drug delivery, ये example है precise medicine का. Targeted drug delivery का example होगा when I use nanoparticles, when I use carbon nanotubes, when I use fullerenes, when I use CRISPR technology. So that is precision medicine, right? So for this I shall create National Cancer Tissue Biobank, which is a joint initiative of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India and IIT Madras. So National Genomic Grid for cancer. You are creating the cancer tissue bank in order to study what happens, what are the genomic factors which are resulting into cancer, and you are trying to find the treatment for the same. Next is Indigen initiative, again extremely important initiative, quite a unique initiative in which 1000 Indians of different ethnicities, groups and regions, उनका आप genome sequencing करेंगे. You will go for whole genome sequencing of 1000 representatives of all states and ethnicities. Basically, Indigen is the precursor for the Human Genome Project of India, and you are trying to understand what is the genetic makeup of all the important ethnic racial groups in India, and if there is some underlying condition because of which certain people in certain areas have diseases. जैसे कि उत्तर प्रदेश has one of the highest number of diabetes patient. In West Bengal you have the black lung disease. So what exactly is responsible? Does it have any genetic reasons for that? So मेरा एक हो गया Human Genomic Grid for studying cancerous tissues, Indigen initiatives for doing whole genome sequencing of 1000 Indians, and the Manav Human Atlas initiative, again by the Department of Biotechnology, which aims at constructing a comprehensive map of every tissue of the human being, and it seeks to capture human physiology at the tissue level in nature and in the disease state. Again, tissue level pe I have done the National Genomic Grid for cancer. Here I am making the entire comprehensive tissue map of the human, and I want to understand what happens in the tissue when it is healthy and while it is moving towards the diseased state. So this is the infographic which is given by the Department of Biotechnology, that why it is doing the Human Genome Project, the Manav Atlas project. So basically it aims at creating an integrated atlas to get the biological insights for disease modeling, for drug discovery, that is finding very specific precise drug for precise problems which are genetic in nature, personalized healthcare. Now rather than creating a generic medicine system, you will have personalized healthcare, holistic analysis and understanding the physiological to molecular mapping of the human body. So जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग मैंने समझा. जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग क्या है? सारे के सारे जीन्स की स्टडी. कितने बेस पेयर हैं हमारे पास? 3 बिलियन बेस पेयर होते हैं ह्यूमन में. अब आता है नेक्स्ट, दैट इज माय DNA technology bill. Now this is the news because of which we will be studying the DNA fingerprinting, or how this particular bill will help me in doing better justice delivery. So I have taken this infographic from PIB. DNA technology regulation bill will help in identifying missing persons, victims, offenders, under trials, unknown diseased persons, right? Especially after COVID. In COVID there have been so many deaths. A lot of deaths have gone unnoticed and unregistered. There has been no paperwork done around them. So the identity theft has now become very rampant, and people who have died under these circumstances, their identities are still there. आपका आधार तो बना ही हुआ है, भले परिवार के परिवार ख़त्म हो गए कोविड में, लेकिन उनका आधार, उनकी बैंक डिटेल्स, पासपोर्ट, पैन कार्ड्स एट्सेट्रा, ये सभी आज भी सिस्टम में मौजूद हैं जिसका मिसयूज़ किया जा सकता है. दे कैन बी मिसयूज्ड. So DNA technology will not only aims at finding the missing people, victims and offenders, but also the unknown deceased person. It shall empower the criminal justice delivery system by enabling the application of DNA evidence. आरुषि तलवार केस जो बहुत ही फेमस था, उसमें भी ये देखा गया कि अगर डीएनए एविडेंस टाइम पर ले लिया जाता बिफोर द एंटायर एविडेंस गॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड, देन that was more or less of an open shut case. So DNA evidence actually is permissible, is one of the most concrete evidence that you can submit in the court. It is permissible in the court and can act as the major evidence for conviction also. So it will also not just make justice delivery more empowered, but will make it much more quicker also. It aims at establishing the national and regional data banks that will assist the forensic investigating teams. So I aim at creating national and regional data banks, and it shall give fillip to uniform code of practice of the lab. जो आपकी लैब्स हैं उनमें भी एक यूनिफॉर्म कोड ऑफ प्रैक्टिस होगा. सो आइडेंटिफाइंग द मिसिंग डिजीज्ड ऑफेंडर्स एंड द विक्टिम्स and under trials it will empower the criminal justice with the application of DNA evidence, and it will also make the whole process much quicker. सो डीएनए टेक्नोलॉजी बिल की वजह से अगर मैं डीएनए टेक्नोलॉजी को डेवलप करूँ, इफ़ आई डेवलप द डीएनए टेक्नोलॉजी, इफ़ आई promote the study of genetics, what are the areas that will benefit out of it? So it is justice delivery. It will apprehend the repeat offenders for heinous crime such as offenders against women and children. In health, it shall help in diagnosing genetic diseases such as sickle cell anemia, hemophilia, etc. It will help in creating better vaccines to identify pathogens, etc. And archaeologically also it can trace disease outbreaks. For example, what was the reason for cholera outbreak, etc. In the field of agriculture, you can end up creating genetically transformed or genetically modified plants which can provide resistance to diseases, insects, pests, herbicides, etc. In the industry, you can use it for the production of chemical compounds, proteins from the waste, etc. You can also use it for handling the waste, for the environmental cleanup, etc. जैसे मैंने आपको एक एग्जाम्पल दिया था RDNA टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर क्रिएटिंग स्टोन वॉश जीन्स. Then of course migration patterns, identified disease people, people who are moving, उनका एक जीन पूल मैं स्टडी कर सकती हूँ, etc. That is also another area. Now coming to what is DNA profiling. DNA technology will aims at creating DNA profiles. So DNA profiling or DNA fingerprinting is aims at creation of a biometric database comprising DNA information of the individuals. For example, हर इंडिविजुअल का, कोई भी ह्यूमन हो, होमोसेपियन हो, उनका 99.9% डीएनए सेम होता है. आपका जो 0.01% डीएनए का डिफरेंस होता है वो टैंडम रिपीट्स होते हैं, VNTR जिनको बोलते हैं, वेरिएबल नंबर ऑफ टैंडम रिपीट्स. और वो एक पैटर्न होता है जो आपके डीएनए में बार बार रिपीट होता है, विच इज़ यूनिक टू योर डीएनए, विच इज़ नॉट कॉमन टू एनी अदर डीएनए. देर कैन बी सिमिलैरिटीज़. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपके और आपके फादर के डीएनए में सिमिलैरिटीज़ होंगी, बट आपका एक यूनिक सिग्नेचर होगा. In DNA profiling, you try to find those unique signatures. For example, in these three individuals, as you can see, there is a common pattern AG80. राइट, अगर मैंने डीएनए को खोला, एक साइड का मैंने अगर स्ट्रैंड लिया तो उसका अगर मैंने पैटर्न नोटिस किया AG80. In first candidate, it is getting repeated 7 times and then 6 repeats. In candidate 2, it is 4 repeats followed by 19 repeats. In candidate 3, it is 12 repeats followed by 14 repeats. These are the short tandem repeats. So, how do I establish a DNA profile? The DNA is unique, to an individual's genetic makeup, but 99% of it is similar. The variable region of 0.1%, which is called as variable number of tandem repeats, also called as short tandem repeats, are unique to the individual. So, the DNA profile of an individual varies in some regions in terms of the number of times a sequence of nucleotide base pair is repeated. So, कितनी बार वो एक base pair का जो pattern है वो repeat हो रहा है. AG80 इसमें 7 times 6 times का combination है, 4 times 19 times का combination है. This is what makes it unique. So, you basically by counting the number of times these base pair sequence are repeated in these variable regions, a DNA profile of an individual is established. So you basically go on identifying first these repeats and then counting these repeats, and thus the DNA profile is established. So the government of India has introduced the DNA technology bill to establish such profiles. Now suppose this is the victim, and at the crime scene I have found some evidence. It can be a fingerprint, it can be some sort of blood or hair, etc., which apart from victim, this is the second DNA, right? So crime scene पर ये तो victim का DNA है, ये एक और DNA मिला है. So I have got these three suspects. Can you identify that this is actually matching with suspect 2? एक चीज़ ये भी हो सकती थी कि विक्टिम के साथ मैच करता पर विक्टिम के साथ मैच नहीं कर रहा, यानी ये जो डीएनए है ये प्रॉबेबली किलर का हो सकता है. सो बाय डीएनए फिंगरप्रिंटिंग. एंड हाउ डू आई डू डीएनए फिंगरप्रिंटिंग? बाय काउंटिंग दोज यूनिक सिग्नेचर्स, एंड आई हैव फाउंड द सस्पेक्ट. नाउ आई विल पुट द इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ दिस सस्पेक्ट इन द डेटा बैंक, द नेशनल डेटा बैंक एंड द रीजनल डेटा बैंक, जिसको एक्सेस कर सकते हैं पूरे कंट्री के सारे ही पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट्स या लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसीज. So by this I will create a database of offenders, repeat offenders and people who are involved in heinous crimes. So the full set of DNA present in an individual is called as genome. हमको ये समझ में आया? DNA sequencing is the procedure for determining the linear order of nucleotide bases. आप linear order जैसे AG80, you are finding this order, finding the repetitions and then creating a profile. Sequencing a gene is like reading a book, one letter at a time to look for a spelling mistake. It is a long process. So genome sequencing is a long process, whereas DNA fingerprinting is a quick process because I want to make the justice delivery fast. Now coming to another important application of biotechnology, which is gene therapy. Alright, so now the next important topic from biotechnology is gene therapy. But for understanding gene therapy, we need to understand stem cell therapy or what are stem cells. Gene therapy quite essentially is that whenever there is a defective gene or there is a muted gene or there is a gene which is unhealthy, which is causing disease, it is either replaced or removed or silenced by doing gene editing techniques, or when the stem cells are provided into the body which replace this defective cell and the cell function is restored, that is called as gene therapy. We have already done what is gene editing therapies, especially with the CRISPR and Cas9 technique. Now let us first understand what is stem cell therapy to understand gene therapy better. Now stem cell therapy, I have taken this infographic because it talks about the possibilities. It talks about the possibilities of stem cell therapy. A stem cell can become any of the 220 different types of cells in the body. It says that one stem cell or the stem cells which has the potency to become different types of cells can actually become any body part. All the 220 different types of cells can be made from these stem cells. So the question comes, what exactly are these stem cells? This is based on their potential or potency. Stem cells can be totipotent, which is at the blastocyst stage. What is the blastocyst stage? When the zygote formation takes place, the initial formation of cells after the zygote stage is called as blastocyst. ये वो stage होती है जब baby womb में बनना शुरू होता है. When the sperm and the egg diffuse, it creates a zygote, and after the zygote, the initial division of cell is the blastocyst cell. ये जो initial cells होते हैं, they basically are the most potent cells. They have the ability to become any type of cell. They can actually form the entire body, entire organs, all the type of cells of the human being. Then comes the pluripotent cells. Now this is what is important when it comes to therapy point of view. Pluripotent cells are, again, as you can see, potency wise they are similar to blastocysts or totipotent. They can also be used to create any organ, to create the entire baby. Any organ, any cell, any part of the body can be created by getting pluripotent cell. Next comes multipotent cell. Now what are multipotent cells? Multipotent cells which have the ability to become a certain type of group of cells. For example, from bone marrow you can make the different types of blood cells, white blood cells, red blood cells, plasma, etc. Right? So multipotent cells are basically which can form different types of cells but of a particular group, such as epithelial cells. Now what is epithelial? The skin cells, but you have different types of skins in different types of body. So epithelial cell is another such group in which different types of cells can be formed. So multipotent, again, These cells have the ability to become or to form different types of cells, but they can also only form cells of a particular group, such as epithelial cells, blood cells, etc. Then comes unipotent cells. Unipotent cells are the ones which can only create one type of cells and not any other type of cell. For example, bone cells can create bone cells only, nerve cell can create nerve cell only. So now let us understand based on this what is a stem cell. So please write, stem cell is a cell with unique ability to develop into a specialized cell type in the body, and they can be used in the future. This whole therapy can be used in the future to replace the cells and tissues that have been damaged or lost. तो basically मैं stem cell क्यों पढ़ रही हूँ कि मैं टेक्नोलॉजिकली आई कैन क्रिएट सच सेल्स कि फ्यूचर में अगर बॉडी में वेयर एंड टेयर हो, डैमेज हो, तो यूजिंग दी स्टेम सेल्स आई कैन रिप्लेस देम, आई कैन रिपेयर द टिश्यूज़ एंड द बॉडी विल बी हेल्दी अगेन. जैसे ये एक स्टेम सेल है और इससे आई एम एबल टू मेक मसल सेल, ब्लड सेल, नर्व सेल एट्सेट्रा. From one stem cell I can make more stem cells also, and these more multiple stem cells then further can create any type of cells of the body. So now based on this there are three types of stem cells. You have the embryonic stem cells, the embryonic stem cells which are of the embryonic stage, you have adult stem cells, and you have induced pluripotent stem cells. Now what are embryonic? The totipotent and pluripotent, these are the example of embryonic stem cells, whereas multipotent and unipotent are an example of adult stem cells, that is which can be received from our bodies as adults. So adult stem cells supply new cells as an organism grows and replace the ones that get damaged. You know that every day the cells of your body are getting old and getting damaged, and they are getting replaced. So adult stem cells are said to be multipotent. मैंने आपको क्या बताया, जैसे कि bone marrow etc., which means they can only change into some cells in the body and not any cells, such as blood cell and epithelial cell. Important क्या है? Important है induced pluripotent and embryonic cells. Now what are embryonic cells? Embryonic cells, these are the stem cells that supply new cells for an embryo. यानी एम्ब्रियो जब फॉर्म हो रहा है मदर की वूम में, व्हेन इट इज ग्रोइंग, दीज आर द स्टेम सेल्स विच सप्लाई द न्यू सेल्स. दैट मीन्स they are pluripotent. Pluri has two words, plural and potent. It has plural potency, that is it can become any type of cell. Excuse me. So they are pluripotent, that means they have the ability to change into any type of cell of the body. So embryonic stem cells can convert into any type of cells. Adult stem cells can only change into some type of cells and not all types of cells. अब आता है third type, which is the induced pluripotent. For this in 2012 Nobel Prize was also given. Induced pluripotent का क्या मतलब होता है? That in the lab through reverse engineering आपने adult stem cell से pluripotent stem cell बनाए हैं. Since you have made it in the lab, it is called as induced pluripotent cells. So induced means that they are made in the lab by taking normal adult cells such as skin and blood, and they are reprogrammed to become the stem cells, and then these stem cells can be used to make any organ, other type of cells etc. है ना बढ़िया चीज़. तो आपने क्या करा, आपने एम्ब्रियोनिक स्टेम सेल्स तो आप कैसे कलेक्ट करेंगे, आपने अडल्ट स्टेम सेल लिया, उसको रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग करा और आपने इंड्यूस प्लूरीपोटेंट सेल करा. एंड जैसे कि एम्ब्रियोनिक स्टेम सेल्स होते हैं, इवन प्लूरीपोटेंट सेल्स कैन डेवलप इनटू एनी टाइप ऑफ सेल्स. So the question comes, why are these stem cells useful? They are useful, one, for research purposes and for therapy, for replacing lost and damaged cells. Now tell me, if a person has cancer, then the cancerous cells in the body can be an example of damaged cells. So there also I can use the stem cell therapy. In fact, stem cell therapy अब इतनी common है कि आपका अगर hair loss भी है तो डॉक्टर says that go for stem cell therapy, जिसमें आपका ब्लड में से प्लाज्मा निकाला जाता है और प्लाज्मा को इन्फ्यूज़ किया जाता है आपके स्कैल्प पे. वो इंजेक्शन से लगाते हैं जिससे आपकी स्टिमुलेशन हो आपके स्कैल्प की और उसकी वजह से आपकी हेयर ग्रोथ बेटर हो. So stem cell therapy is getting a lot of utility in the market. Now coming back to the main therapy, which is gene therapy. मैंने आपसे कहा था जीन थेरेपी समझने के लिए मुझे स्टेम सेल थेरेपी भी समझनी पड़ेगी. सो जीन थेरेपी गिव्स पेशेंट अ हेल्दी वर्जन ऑफ अ डिफेक्टिव जीन. यानी ये जो सेल है इसके अंदर ये डिफेक्टिव जीन है ब्राउन कलर का, मैंने इसके अंदर हेल्दी जीन इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया. ये डिफेक्टिव जीन हटा नहीं है, पर ये जो हेल्दी जीन है बाय द लॉ ऑफ डोमिनेंस ये हेल्दी जीन अब फंक्शनैलिटी को रिस्टोर कर देगा और सेल का जो फंक्शन है वो दोबारा हो जाएगा रिस्टोर। अब इसके लिए आई हैव टेकन दिस एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम द बॉस्टन चिल्ड्रन हॉस्पिटल, जिन्होंने बोला है कि कैसे जीन थेरेपी कैन बी यूज फॉर ट्रीटिंग कैंसर ऑल्सो। नाउ what does gene therapy do? It delivers DNA into the patient's cells to replace the faulty or the missing genes. So what am I doing? आपने सबसे पहले you have collected bone marrow और the blood stem cells. आपने ये bone marrow या blood stem cells ले लिए जो आपको supply करने हैं एक diseased patient के. So stem cells are connected. Generally ये बोला जाता है कि bone marrow हमेशा blood relation से लेना चाहिए ताकि rejection का chance ना हो। अब आपने क्या करा कि ये बच्चा जिसको लेटेस से कैंसर है इसको पहले कीमोथेरेपी दी। आपने कीमोथेरेपी क्यों दी? सो दैट यू रिमूव द कैंसरस सेल्स। वंस यू हैव रिमूव्ड द कैंसरस सेल बाय यूजिंग वायरल वेक्टर्स। वेक्टर क्या है? वेक्टर को एक सिंपल साधारण भाषा में वेक्टर आर लाइक ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम। अगर मुझे ये स्टेम सेल उस बॉडी के उस पार्ट तक पहुंचाना है तो मुझे ये किसी ना किसी पर ट्रांसपोर्ट करने पड़ेंगे, वो होता है वेक्टर। तो मैं इस वेक्टर के ऊपर मेरा ये स्टेम सेल को along with the vector I will supply this stem cell to the affected area, and this child will now have the healthy stem cells which will replace the faulty or diseased stem cell, in this case the cancer cells, right? So here the gene therapy is using these vectors. Sometimes these stem cells are even manipulated. अब यहाँ पे जीन एडिटिंग भी आ जाती है और मैनिपुलेट कर इन स्टेम सेल्स को और ज़्यादा स्पेशलाइज बना दिया जाता है टू फाइट कैंसर और एनी अदर डिजीजेस। सो जीन थेरेपी में क्या है? जीन थेरेपी में यू आर बेसिकली रिप्लेसिंग, सिंपल भाषा में यू गिव द पेशेंट अ हेल्दी वर्जन ऑफ द डिफेक्टिव जीन। तो अगर आपका ब्लड जीन आपका डिफेक्टिव है तो उसकी जगह आपने हेल्दी जीन दे दिया। So I generally use gene therapy for genetic disorder also. ये 3 लाइन हमेशा याद रखिए। मैं आपको यही चीज़ याद कराने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ बायोटेक का जब से मैंने मॉड्यूल शुरू किया है, दैट यू डू डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग जीन थेरेपी टू आइदर मॉडिफाई और रिप्लेस द डिफेक्टिव जीन बाय राइट सीक्वेंस ऑफ जीन. It can involve inserting normal healthy gene into the patient so that the healthy gene can replace the defective gene. So this is the gene therapy. Now coming to next important therapy which is the mitochondrial replacement therapy. पर उसके लिए मुझे समझना होगा what is mitochondrial DNA and nuclear DNA. Mitochondrial DNA आपका जो रेस्पिरेशन होता है और रेस्पिरेशन की वजह से जो एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस होती है, रेस्पिरेशन बेसिकली इज़ यूज्ड फॉर बर्निंग डाउन द फूड टू प्रोड्यूस एनर्जी, राइट. आप यूज रेस्पिरेशन का बेसिकली यूटिलिटी वही होती है और ये कौन कंट्रोल करता है? माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. सो इफ़ अ पर्सन हैज़ अ फॉल्टी माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, यानी उसमें एक तो रेस्पिरेशन में इशू आएगा एंड देन कन्वर्जन ऑफ फूड इनटू एनर्जी में इशू आएगा, दैट मीन्स द पर्सन हैज़ वेरी लिटिल चांस टू हैव अ नॉर्मल लाइफ. माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डीएनए फादर और मदर में दोनों में होता है. हर एनिमल सेल में माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डीएनए होता है. न्यूक्लियर डीएनए इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इनहेरिटेंस. आपके जो क्रोमोसोम्स होते हैं वो सारा न्यूक्लियर डीएनए में होता है, लेकिन जो आपका रेस्पिरेशन वाला जो होता है वो जो क्रोमोसोम होता है विच इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर मेटाबॉलिज्म, दैट माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डीएनए दैट हैज़ ओनली वन क्रोमोसोम विच इज़ फॉर द मेटाबॉलिज्म, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ मदर से चाइल्ड में जाता है. अगेन there are research papers which says that even father's mitochondria is transferred, but जो मेरा मेटाबॉलिज्म जिसकी वजह से रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है वो क्रोमोसोम मेरा मदर से चाइल्ड में ही जाता है. Why am I telling you this? Because 2021 में there was a question in prelims in which they said that the mitochondrial gene responsible for metabolism is only transferred by the mother. तो क्योंकि रिसेंटली बार बार बच्चा सुन रहा था कि फादर से भी माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया ट्रांसफर होता है, द स्टूडेंट गॉट कन्फ्यूज. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डीएनए रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर मेटाबॉलिज्म, रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर रेस्पिरेशन इज ओनली ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम मदर टू चाइल्ड. अभी रिसेंटली पुलिस हैज़ ऑल्सो यूज्ड माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डीएनए टू ट्रेस अ कल्प्रेट एंड द विक्टिम. क्यों? क्योंकि माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डीएनए क्योंकि सिर्फ मदर से चाइल्ड में जा रहा है, इट इज़ ऑल्सो यूज टू ट्रेस द ह्यूमन ancestry, right? So the nuclear DNA is responsible for the inheritance and the mitochondrial DNA is responsible for the metabolism. So now what is a 3-parent baby? Now 3-parent baby, to understand 3-parent baby, it is basically a baby which receives the usual nuclear DNA from the biological father and mother. The embryo also receives small amount of healthy mitochondria from the woman donor. And when do you go for a 3-parent baby? This technique, which is extremely risky also and very expensive, is when the actual mother or the biological mother is suffering from incurable mitochondrial disease. So when the mother is suffering from the mitochondrial disease, you go for 3-parent baby or taking mitochondrial gene from the donor mother. So this is what mitochondrial or 3-parent baby mitochondrial or pronuclear transfer is also the same. Pronuclear transfer therapy or treatment is also the same. So in this technique, 3 people are actually contributing their DNA to create a child, hence the child has 3 parents. Why do you do this? To prevent the inherited diseases. So the methodology involved is in vitro fertilization. Now this is the biological mother. This biological mother has a healthy nucleus, but this is abnormal mitochondria, the red part. This is the donor mother, in which the green, the healthy mitochondria is there. So what did I do? I will extract the nucleus from the biological mother and I will extract the nucleus from the donor mother. The nucleus from the donor mother is destroyed. Now here the nucleus is destroyed. और अब जो मेरी बायोलॉजिकल मदर का न्यूक्लियस है वो मैंने डोनर मदर के सेल में which has healthy mitochondria I have inserted, and then it is fertilized with the father's sperm. I will repeat, the nucleus from the biological mother is denucleated or it is extracted from the cell and it is then inserted into the cell of the donor mother. ये करने से पहले डोनर मदर का न्यूक्लियस रिमूव करके डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया जाता है और फिर इस एग को फर्टिलाइज किया जाता है विद द फादर स्पर्म, हेंस द चाइल्ड हैज 3 पेरेंट्स. I want you to give me the answer to this question. This is a previous year question. I think it is very easy now. Now coming to another important current affair, which is the CAR T cell therapy or the chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy. Now T cells are the T cells and B cells. याद करिए, these are used for fighting cancer, infections, bacteria. These are basically the soldiers of the body. They are the immunity system or immune system of the body. So it is the way to get immune system cells called T cells to fight cancer by editing them in the lab. तो ये जो सेल CAR T cell therapy है उसमें I am basically editing the T cells in the lab so that they can fight cancer. So what are T cells? T cells are a type of white blood cells. They are a type of white blood cells, first part, important part, which attack the foreign pathogens. Now these pathogens can be a new cell, an introductory viral, bacteria, any type of pathogen which enters your body, the T cell starts fighting them or neutralizing them. Now why this particular therapy is important or technology is important? Because it can cure certain types of cancer. Right, certain type of cancers have good prognosis. For example, prostate cancer has a good prognosis, whereas when it comes to pancreatic cancer, the chances of a person to have a normal life or even life expectancy is very, very less. Breast cancer, for example, has very good prognosis. Even some types of blood cancers in which leukemia, if detected at an early stage, also has good prognosis and the person can have a normal life. सो CAR-T जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, आप इम्यून सिस्टम को रोबस्ट बना रहे हो आपकी बॉडी के, तो यू कैन इमेजिन हैविंग ट्रीटमेंट फॉर सर्टेन कैंसर्स. नाउ अनलाइक कीमोथेरेपी जिसमें पूरी बॉडी ही पेशेंट की it undergoes a lot of stress because the healthy cells are also destroyed. CAR-T is administered only once. कीमोथेरेपी के बार बार सेशंस होते हैं, रिपीटेड सेशन होते हैं, फिर रेडिएशन के सेशंस होते हैं जिसकी वजह से बॉडी बहुत ज़्यादा वीक भी हो जाती है. It is a comparatively short treatment with more rapid recovery. So I can aim or I can imagine that there can be treatment to certain type of cancers. It is the therapy is given only once, unlike chemotherapy for which you have to go for multiple sitting, and the recovery is rapid. So this is what the CAR-T cell therapy is. I want you to take down these points one by one. So सबसे पहले the T cells are taken from the patient's blood. आपने यहाँ से टी सेल लिया, या आपने पेशेंट के ब्लड से लिया टी सेल. These are edited by adding a gene for a man-made receptor called CAR. तो मैंने ये जो CAR है विच इज़ अ रिसेप्टर, इट इज़ अ स्पेशल रिसेप्टर, ये लैब मेड रिसेप्टर है विच इज़ डिज़ाइन टू बाइंड टू सर्टेन टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोटीन्स एंड कैंसर सेल. आप याद कीजिए जब मैंने आपको क्रिस्पर टेक्निक भी बताई थी उसमें मैंने बोला था इसको समझने का सिंपल तरीका है टू फाइंड एंड रिप्लेस. इसमें क्या है दैट यू वांट टू फाइंड एंड बाइंड. तो फाइंड करने के लिए यू हैव द रिसेप्टर कॉल्ड एज CAR जो कि लैब में बनाया है विच इज़ डिज़ाइन टू बाइंड टू सर्टेन प्रोटीन्स ऑन दी कैंसर सेल. और इसके साथ मैंने किसको अटैच कर दिया, T सेल, एंड इसलिए इसको क्या बोला जाता है, CAR T सेल थेरेपी. सो द CAR T cells are made in the lab. The gene for CAR is inserted which will target certain type of cancer or diseases. And then the chimeric antigen receptor, CAR is chimeric antigen receptor, it is then grown. आपने लैब में इसको मल्टीपल ग्रो कर लिया, बहुत सारे इसके कॉपीज़ बना लिए, आपने डुप्लीकेट्स बना लिया, एंड देन व्हेन इट इज़ एडेड टू दी T cells, these are called as CAR T cells, and then they identify the cancer and they attack this cancer. T cell का ओरिजिनल जो नेचर है वो क्या है, अटैकिंग दी कैंसर सेल्स, अटैकिंग दी इन्फेक्शन सेल्स. आपने उसमें एक बेटर फाइंडर डाल दिया है ताकि आप जब ये दवाई दें तो वो सिर्फ कैंसर सेल्स को टारगेट करे, स्पेशलाइज करे और बाकी सेल्स को हार्म ना करे. सो दिस होल्ड्स प्रॉमिस. CAR T cell therapy is an example of using biotechnology for creating a much better therapy. आपकी स्टेम सेल थेरेपी हो गई, आपका जीन थेरेपी हो गया, और जीन थेरेपी का ही एक बेटर वर्जन हो गया CAR T cell therapy. Why it is important for your exam? Because it was tested by the institutes of India. इंडिया में इसकी टेस्टिंग हो रही है तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. नाउ कमिंग टू द बेसिक्स, व्हाट आर T cells and B cells? Now T and B cells are also called as lymphocytes, that is they are type of white blood cells. अब वाइट ब्लड सेल से पहले मुझे एक चीज़ समझनी, मेरी बॉडी में दो टाइप की इम्यूनिटी होती है. एक होती है इनेट इम्यूनिटी और दूसरी होती है एक्वायर्ड. व्हाट इज़ इनेट? जो मेरी बॉडी में है ही, जो मेरी व्हेन आई एम बॉर्न विद दैट इम्यूनिटी दैट इज़ पास्ड ऑन फ्रॉम द मदर टू द चाइल्ड. और दूसरी होती है अक्वायर्ड. अक्वायर्ड या तो आपने वैक्सीनेशन लिया या ओवर द टाइम आपकी बॉडी हैज़ अक्वायर्ड द इम्यूनिटी. जैसे आपको मीजल्स हुए, मीजल्स होने के बाद अब आपने इम्यूनिटी अक्वायर कर ली कि दोबारा अगर मीजल वायरस अटैक करेगा तो आपकी बॉडी इज़ मच प्रिपेयर टू फाइट दैट. तो ये जो अक्वायर्ड इम्यूनिटी है, राइट, they use the T cells and B cells when the invading organism slips through the first line of defense. तो पहली मेरी हो गई innate immunity जो मैं which I am born with, that is passed on from the mother. This is body's first line of defense to fight off the infection. जब ये फेल हो जाता है तब आती है acquired immunity which is generally through the vaccination or when the body has undergone that disease. इसमें T cells and B cells they start attacking the invading pathogen, virus, bacteria, etc. So B cells क्या करते हैं? They produce antibodies that are used to attack the invading bacteria, viruses and toxins. These antibodies are generally Y-shaped proteins that are specific to each pathogen. T cells are direct fighters for the foreign invaders and they produce cytokines which are biological substances. ये आपके पूरे इम्यून सिस्टम का बेसिकली आधार होते हैं, बेस होते हैं, दे आर द बेस ऑफ द इम्यून सिस्टम. एंड T cells destroy body's own cells that have been taken over by the virus and become cancerous. So since T cells are actually attacking the cancerous cells, body's own cells which have been diseased, so T cells are the ones which are targeted when it comes to CAR T immunity development or CAR T cell therapy. This is a small infographic for you to remember the role of B cells and T cells. B cells, I attack the invaders outside the cell, whereas T cells, it attacks the infected cells. Hence, cancer treatment के लिए अगर मुझे किसी lymphocyte को choose करना पड़ेगा, then I will go for T cell. I think it will help you in remember why T cells are chosen in this therapy. So these are some important techniques. I have tried to again mix up the current and the basic understanding so that you can have a comprehensive idea about these different science and technology topics. So I will continue with this series. I'll come up with the next topic. Till then, if you have any doubts, do reach out to us. I hope this session has helped you. Thank you so much. Have a very good day.